Hey folks, Adam here again for Contrastly.com, and today we're back for a quick lesson on how you can use the HSL panel, the Hue, Saturation, Luminance panel, to take more creative control over your images in Adobe Lightroom. Now, the HSL panel is one of those regrettably underused tools in Lightroom because sometimes it isn't explained very well. I received quite a few questions on this, but I'm here to assure you that it is incredibly easy to use once you understand it. So let's just get started. Now, like I said, HSL stands for Hue, Luminance, Saturation. You could think of hue as the overall tone of a color. The color may be orange. Is it a yellow orange? Is it a brown orange, reddish orange? That kind of thing. And saturation is usually self-explanatory. It just means the depth of the color. How deep is the blue? How deep is the red? Then the luminance. The luminance is probably the most useful part of the HSL panel because it'll let you control the brightness of each color independently of others, and it really helps you to bring out some highlights and some textures that you might not ordinarily see when you're doing just some global adjustments in the develop panel, and especially with black and white. We're going to get into that in just a second, but black and white, the HSL panel, were made for each other. You will really be able to take your black and whites to a whole new level using the HSL panel because it does let you adjust just those colors you want, just the brightness of the colors you want, without affecting the rest of the image. So we see here we have a very highly contrasted color image. We've got this blue door on a virtually white background. You've got the rain reflecting here on the pavement and the reflection of the door. What we're going to do is use the HSL panel to really demonstrate how you can affect certain colors within an image. So we've went from the library in Adobe Lightroom, chose our image. I've already made some adjustments to the image, but nothing with the HSL panel. So we're going to go over here, we're in the develop module, go over to the develop module and select the HSL drop down panel. Now there's a few things that you can do to get the same effect using the HSL panel, but for me the easiest way is just to use the entire gamut of adjustments, just like that. You get everything laid out for you. Of course, if you don't want to do don't want to have everything laid out like this, you can go in and have the panel open just for the hue, just for the saturation, luminance, etc. Or you can even go in and adjust the hue, luminance, saturation of each color separately. But like I said, personally, I leave everything open. It's a lot easier. You have everything spread out and you can really get work done a lot quicker, in my opinion. But there again, whatever works for you. So naturally, we're going to start with the blue, since that's the pronounced color here. So we will go down. Of course, this is the hue, the saturation, and the luminance. We're going down to the luminance portion of the panel, and we're going to find blue, and we can make that blue brighter. We can make that blue darker. But you can really see the dramatic effect, and see, even looking to the wall here, you have some light that you might not ordinarily see. But we can see that when we adjust the luminance. So let's just leave this door a little brighter, and we go into the saturation. And there's really no order to do these adjustments with. Personally, I go with whatever feels right for the image that I'm processing. So we can go and take the saturation of the blue all the way down, so there's no color there. Take it all the way up, you can kind of see the difference. And I want to go just a little more saturation here, like so. Hue. Now this is where people run into a little bit of trouble because they don't really understand what hue means. Like I said, there's no, if you look around the internet, there is no, or I won't say there's very few definitive answers for explaining hue. I just choose to think of it as the color tone. You can see if we're looking at the blue slider here, you slide it to the left, you get more of a aqua green, blue green color. You slide it to the right, and you're going to get more of a purple blue, really deep navy blue. And I don't really want to mess with the hues of the blues here, so I will just darken it a little bit maybe. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. Now, what else do we want to do with the image? Personally, I like it the way it is, but let's say you have this little spot of green here at the very bottom right, and you can either, that's mostly green, but you can tell it's going to be some green and yellow. So the brightness of the yellow will bring out the wall as well. So let's just go with the green, and we'll brighten that right up. Make it a little more pronounced. Let's say you don't want the green quite so, well, let's say green. We can take the saturation of that down, make it a little less pronounced. There we go. And voila. That is really all it is, folks, to the HSL panel. I know it's a lot of anxiety with the HSL panel, and there's really no reason to have that. So let's move into working with a black and white image, and we can do that. Let me just reset all of this. We can do that a number of ways, but staying in the staying in the HSL panel without going into the basic panel to turn it black and white. All you have to do, click B&W, converts it to monochrome, and here you can see, and let me explain something here. Since this is now a black and white image, think of all these sliders. It basically becomes a luminance adjustment only. So we can take the blue and it will adjust the brightness of the blue, and you can add a lot of interesting contrast in your black and whites using the black and white option in the HSL panel. It's really powerful, and truthfully there's so many reasons that you should be using the HSL panel for your black and whites. I can't even list them here, but it will really let you make your black and whites pop and do some things that you might not ordinarily have been able to do just by using the basic adjustment panel. So it's a really powerful tool for virtually any photograph that you have when you really want to work selectively with some different colors within the image. And there again, it's that easy. The HSL panel is a really powerful tool, and there's no reason you should not be using it. Now, it's been made clear what each of those little sliders can do for you. You should really take advantage of it and take your images, especially your black and white images, to a whole new level. Once again, this has been Adam. Thanks so much for joining me today, and be sure to check out the other great post-processing tutorials available at contrastly.com.